Yo, what's up, you guys? It's the fellow Chris 123 here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of Formula One. So, if you haven't watched my first Formula One, I did do a live stream. I hope you guys go check that out. As you can see, we're with Renault F1. So I thought this is a good team to be a part of. That's why I chose them. So I'm quite excited to actually be part of them. And right here, we're just doing a bit of. I think, if I'm correct, this is just this is a bit of practice. But again, I felt quite comfortable with the car. The car was quite comfortable. We went out to try and do a little bit on the track. We didn't have any time, to be honest. I did cover it with most of just a couple of the fuel management and all that. But to be honest, it's been really good to play this game. I've really enjoyed it. The graphics on it is completely amazing. And yeah, this is quite exciting for me, to be honest, because it's my first ever Formula One career mode on YouTube that I've ever done. So this is going to be exciting. So our next thing to do now is actually qualifying. But before we get into that, as you can see, we're just doing a bit of doing a little interview, I'd say. Sorry, pardon me, guys. So we're doing a little interview here. But yeah, like I was saying, whilst I talk over her, in the last episode, you probably saw us. We were doing a bit of F2. We're in our F2 career mode, because that's part of the career mode. You have your rival, you have your teammate. Your teammate now goes into a different team, so does your rival. I don't know what's going to happen from there on. If I'm being honest, I've never actually got that far. This is probably the first time. I think this is the only race I've actually done on career mode before. But yeah, like I said, we were with ART. We had to turn up the difficulty, just because it felt just a bit too easy. So if you go and check that out, you can see. But this career mode, this race gets really interesting. So I think this is definitely going to be something you guys will enjoy. As you can see, there's Ricardo in the background. Just I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, we've got one shot qualifying. This is where we've got to focus pretty much, and try and get a good lap out. So again, the Renault it's quite quick, but it can but it has got its issues as well. It can't push push off the mark that quick, shall I say, which I've noticed quite a lot in quite a few races. Just in general, when I'm racing either online or whatever, I've realised that the Renault is not the quickest off the line, but in top speed it does keep up with quite a few cars. Not a lot. I mean, we're still having to really take those corners and hit the apexes. But here we go. As you can see, we're doing qualifying now. Full out, just going for it. Here we go. Look at this. Took the corner really well. And you can just see we're having a bit of twitchiness around through here, but we touched DRS quickly through there. What annoys me the most is when I'm checking my tyres and all that. As you can see on the right side, a lot of the time I constantly do make mistakes when I'm clicking B, because I'm focusing on there, but I'm also slightly focusing on the other side. But as you can see, we're hitting purples behind us, so we're this looked quite good for us. And yeah, we're proper ripping our tyres across this whole track, doing really well around it. And look at that, just got a bit of damage there, and we couldn't do anything about that. That's what I think it slowed us a little bit around there as well. Just that tiny bit of damage. Again, it's still hitting purples, as you can see. It said that sector we hit purples there. Again, that slowed us down because I didn't hit the DRS quick enough, because I came straight off there and was trying to kind of balance myself. But again, we went through the corner quite well. I do think one shot qualifying can be annoying, because obviously you only have one shot at it, but at the same time it's quicker for us, and we can just get some more episodes. Again, there another slow corner, just smashing into the barrier, and we can see Bottas right behind us. And so I was thinking I hit. We did hit first. Sorry. Luckily, we hit first through that whole. For some reason, I actually thought we came second through that, but so as you can see, we were lucky. He was, I think he was only 600th of a second, and literally he was really picking up on us. One more mistake, and that would have been it. I think, you know, bouncing off the wall, it kind of slowed us a bit. But here's what's up? Here's the interview now. So now she's just asking this. We did scrape a couple of the walls, but we just say like, no, I don't remember any walls being hit. But again, like I said, there is some similarities of the old game, which could be changed. And yeah, I think we're looking around there, just trying to see what settings to, you know, edit and whatever, and whatnot. But and just checking our ERS system, I think, I'm not sure. So that was the big race, guys. This is our first Formula 1 race on F1 2019 on career mode. So now, just to let you guys know, this is my overlay that I was trying out today. I don't think I'm actually gonna keep it. I might have to change it. I don't really like the look of it. You guys are probably used to my old one, which is my green technology looking. I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, here we go. Let's get into this race, and hopefully we can bring back some points. So as you can see, we've in my last one, you probably actually, I don't think it was in my last one. I'm not sure. No, it wasn't actually. Sorry. So I did do a video before this, recording it, and I'm not going to put it out now because there was a couple of mistakes that were going. So like, I was trying to change the quality and all that, and even this one's a bit choppy at sometimes. So I still need to render it and try and fix it a little bit. But here we go. Good set off there. Put it into Rich. As you can see, look at the speed compared. So Bottas, that Mercedes and the Ferrari are too quick. And again, we do get a touch on the Ferrari there, which wasn't the greatest. I admit that I kind of went in too much onto him, but I didn't mean to. I thought I went that close, but again, I can't really see the front end that much. The right tire was covering it, and look at Bottas. He's just too quick around these corners. He's got so much acceleration on that Mercedes AMG. I'm not sure where Hamilton is through this whole race, but honestly, the fact that we're keeping up with him is quite amazing, because the Renault is not the quickest. But look at this. We're just having to. So I can see that, you know, the AI is quite slow around the corners, so I'm just trying to take those chances as much as I can. That's what I'm focusing on. And again, this is just a massive battle between me and Bottas. I'm still thinking, you know, I might be able to look and taking over him. You can just see our ERS system just depleting completely here. I looked into going into that corner, but he closed that straight away. He wasn't letting me go for it at that point in time. But then again, through here we tried to look at it, but then I kind of like midway like cancelled, and then kind of had to refix myself, which slowed me down quite a lot. As you can see, there we go, Bottas. He will take those chances as soon as he can, but again, it's really annoying that we haven't got a faster acceleration to set off, because you know, we're hitting, we're getting those good starts. You know, we're off the off the mark quick, but it's just the acceleration to the to the first corner that's slowing us down. And Bottas has definitely got that, and he's gonna use that to his advantage, especially around these corners like this. He's got the top speed. He's gonna carry on with the top speed. But yeah, it's really hard to trying to catch up with him. with all these issues, being the slower car. It's pretty much just literally just waiting for him to make a mistake for us to catch on to it. And to be honest, in this Formula 1 2019, a lot of mistakes can happen, but then also it can with us, mainly because we do have our traction control off. And what I was saying in my last one, when I was doing F2, most of the time when we had traction control, we were losing our back end. On this, it's not as bad. I mean, it's not, we're not completely losing it, so I don't understand why on F2 we were losing it that badly. But this, as you can see here, we are getting destroyed by Bottas. Bottas is just making us look stupid. That car's just way too quick. At this point in time, I knew I wasn't going to go and catch up with him, so I knew how to just pretty much manage my ERS and just at some point just try and pick him out in the corners, get as close as I can, and try get as close as I can during DRS line, and try and use the ERS and my rich fuel. So he's kind of just managing it through the most, and that's why I was pretty much in this first couple of laps, we're just burning fuel, trying to make the car lighter and everything, to be honest. And that was my main strategy for this whole race. Again, not many of the drivers behind us really are like pushing against us, so we were just kind of focusing on Bottas. But Bottas was, having his own race, trying to like beat his own lap time. As you can see, he was putting out lap times left, right, and centre, and we're just here trying to catch up. And look at him. He's just, he's putting seconds. He's making gaps. Like he's already around that corner, and we're still trying to catch up. And even though this is me going full out, burning my tyres, I'm just not going to be able to. I still feel like for these first couple of laps we could have gone a bit quicker. Again, as you can see, I went a bit wide there, and that was just because I was just I was trying not to twitch. I've realised that if you twitch a lot when you're going down that straight, you're gonna lose a lot of speed. So I'll just kind of but literally it was pretty much just managing my tyres, managing my fuel, managing my ERS, managing well, that's it, managing that. Again, like I said, it was just pretty much focusing, and as you can see here, this is when we started to think to ourselves, we need to start pushing. And you can see we started to hit purple in the first sector, and we started to catch up a little bit, not a lot, but we're definitely half a second closer, as you can see, because at this point he was much further away. So to be honest, the fact that we were closer, it's good. But then we slowed down here, and that was just because of my ERS. I'm having to drop a bit. As you can see, there we go, we put the ERS on, and this is where we were trying to catch up, and this is what I was saying I was trying to do for the whole race. We started to get closer here, but I had to drop it a bit more, because if I didn't drop it, I was going to go straight into the back of him. And literally, look how close we were now. And that was pretty much my strategy for this whole race, just trying to, I knew I wasn't going to beat him without any of the ERS, the rich fuel, and the DRS included. So I knew that I had to use that all to my ability. But as you can see here, it's not really working for me at all for this whole thing. He's still going to be faster than me. He's still going to put pressure on us, for this whole race, as you can see. So it was very, very, very difficult. Oh, and look at that again. So that was a mistake. We almost had it there. But it was mainly the fact, we used the DRS again. We used the rich fuel, and we used the ERS all to our advantage. But the problem is again just trying to brake on time, and I think I lost focus for that as well, to be honest. But again, like that could have been the takeover done. Well done to Bottas again, but the AI is really smart now. Usually, I think probably in the old ones they would have left that and not think, okay, let me just cut behind him. I've got that space. As you can see here, I was trying to grip onto as much road as I could, including the curve, just to get that DRS to be as close as I can, because I thought, do you know what, I almost got that takeover. I was starting to get frustrated. So again, I was just literally trying to use as much road through this whole thing, including the curb as well. Look at that, look how close we were. So the first 2 or 3 laps, we were nowhere as close as this. But again, like I said, the straight, he's always going to have us on that. And at this point, we had to start managing our fuel and start looking at, okay, look, we can do this, but we need to. This is probably going to come to the last couple of laps if we're going to try and take over, because I know for a fact he's not going to leave it to us. And again, look at that, he's just closed the door straight up on us. He knew what we were going to do. He knew we were going to go on there, and it's quite hard to trick the AI nowadays. On the Formula 1 2019, you know, on 18 it was much easier. You know, you could go to one corner and, you know, they wouldn't be as defensive or close the door that easy. But you know, look at this, bang, closed that. He wouldn't let me go through it, and he knew I was coming through there. It's like they're checking they're checking the mirrors through this whole race. Bottas was just going, and there we go. I went into the grass a little bit because I was just losing a bit of grip as well. I could tell that I was just, you know, not really having as much grip as I usually have. And look at that, I didn't even click DRS for that until like the last second, which is just pointless. I didn't even realise, because I was just focusing mainly. I think. Oh, and at this point, yeah, I had. So the reason I paused it here was because I actually had to scratch my eye at this point. But literally, I was having issues. As you can see, I messed up because I was pressing my brakes differential, I think, or either one. And again, look at the tyres. The tyres were just completely gone. And I was doing this all with a bad wing as well, because obviously we had that a bit of damage to our front wing from that Ferrari that went into us. Well, we went into him, should I say. So this is even more seconds going on top of us. So imagine, like, we're in first place going into second, and now we're dropping all the way to 10th. Not the greatest you want to have, but again, it's Formula 1. Stuff like this happens all the time. So now this is like where we're thinking we need to push completely out. I think, yeah, we're like, as you can see, we're in 20th. We're really far behind. Massive depletion right there to us, like, you know, dropping from second place all the way there just because of a front wing. I should have changed it so it said that I didn't want my wing changed, because I was still able to catch up. I didn't really find that much of damage. I didn't find it affecting us that much through the whole race. I mean, we were still hitting quite a few fast times, but as you can see, we're just catching up with the back of the pack, and them two are trying to take over each other. They're having a little race of their own, and again, we want to look at this. I was trying to go onto the inside of him, but he was just, you know, not having it, and he's trying to push me off, and I had to go, like, I was trying to grip onto the road, but I had to go onto the grass a little bit, but again, I did the same there. As you can see, I'm just trying to get as much grip onto the cold tyres, the fresh tyres as well. And but look at this again. We're just right behind him, trying to go for the takeover. Got the DRS on him coming up. There we go. And I don't think I used any. Yeah, I don't think I used any of my ERS at this point, because I didn't think I needed to, anyways. Just saving that all for Bottas, because we were pretty much just zooming past. We didn't need to do as much for any of this. So literally, again, mistakes are being made constantly for this whole race, especially with these cold tyres. They're just warming up, you know. We're like, you know, ripping through them straight away, and they're much harder to grip as well. They're pretty much the slower tyres. So again, we're gonna have to literally maintain them as well. you know, we've still got quite a few laps left. But like I said, it was really annoying that we had to change our front wing, because it really set us back. You know, we're right in the back of the pack. To be honest, the pack's still quite bunched up. So again, like, you know, I was thinking they're going to pit soon, anyways. I can get quite a few takeovers through this, anyways, and get my position back at some point. Because we were the first team to pit, I knew they were definitely. And again, look at this. So I made the mistake, and I was like, no, I can't have this. I did have to rewind it, because I was just getting. I was just so annoyed with that. I was just like, that was such a stupid mistake. Literally, as you can see, every single person is pretty much in the pits right now, except one man. And the one man is Bottas. Look at Bottas. He's right up there. And I'm thinking to myself, why does it have to be Bottas right up there? He got his tyres changed so quickly and was out. But then again, we already know the Mercedes team are quicker in the pits. Renault haven't got the best history of being quick in the pits. They're good, but I mean, like, they're not, you know, Mercedes MG good. Do you know what I mean? But again, like I said, they were really quick. But we were setting, as soon as I knew that Bottas was there, that's it. I was like, I'm going for this, and we were just hitting purples through this whole sector. Really, really good, honestly, from us. Literally, again, trying to not make mistakes, just trying to, you know, keep our race line on point, hitting the apexes, and just focusing on our race. Again, I started to make mistakes like that. Again, like taking the whole thing. If I had it on strict, I would have definitely got a penalty probably for all that, because or maybe something else. I'm not even sure, because I cut the corner. Actually, I would have probably got a warning for it, but luckily we didn't. And look at that! Look how much ground we caught up with him, just speeding through this. I think we do hit a good fast lap here. I'm not sure. If we don't, well, we deserve it. Yeah, there we go. See, so we got the fastest lap. Literally, at this point, our tyres started to kick in. They're finally up to optimal temperature. We're able to actually use them. And as you can see, we're just using our ERS now. We're thinking, okay, look, we are really close to this guy now. We can definitely do something. So there was apparently something happened down there, but I'm not sure what. Something apparently happened. I think maybe Bottas ran a bit wide or something. I'm not sure. I didn't really pay attention, but I did do a mistake there. Oh, there we go. As you can see, there was a car there. I didn't even notice at this point, but there we go. Yeah, so I was kind of nosy there. I'm not sure if that was Sainz. I'm not even sure who that was actually. Maybe I just got that completely wrong. But yeah, I was wondering what was going on there. But yeah, there's a car just straight in. They probably either like skidded out like me, or I don't know. To be honest, at this point, I wouldn't know. But guys, literally, if you think I've been using flashbacks too much, and you think I should just literally turn them off, so that whatever happens in the race happens, then I will. Because I want it to, you know, be enjoyable, and I want you guys to like it. So if you think that I am using it a bit too much, then yeah, I will turn it down. But here we go. Like I said, we don't get DRS on this lap. We're trying to catch up, just trying to get as close as we can. Literally, barely braking through there, because, you know, the braking is going to slow us down. We're just again, I made the mistake there, trying to get the apex. You know, and it just, yeah. And but to be honest, what I was mainly trying to do is trying to use that curb to slow us down. Because if I'm braking, it's just going to slow me down. So I'm just kind of using the curb as a brake instead, if that makes sense. So it's slowing me down just enough, but not a lot. And I don't know if that makes sense. But to me, it makes sense. But as you can see, we get DRS on this, so we're just turning it up. Literally just trying to get as close as we can, and finally we're actually right behind him, taking in that dirt. Yeah, again, look, we're just taking up the whole road through this. And again, look how close. Again, we made the same mistake, because we're getting excited for this whole. As soon as we get close to him, we're like, okay, look, I'm getting really excited now. I'm ready for the takeover. I know it's going to happen at some point. I need to do this takeover. and Bottas is just not letting us have it. Again, look at this. Here we go. He's giving us the space. We're finally able to do the takeover, and there we go. Finally, we've made the takeover, and now I know I can drop everything down. I'm like, okay, if anything happens, I can literally just go defensive now for this. So I'm literally thinking, okay, we've only got a couple of laps left. I can literally go defensive for the rest of this, and that will be it. Now this is it's easier said than done, especially when you've got a Renault. You're going with low, low lean fuel and low ERS. And the only reason I was doing that is not to be stupid or holding back. It was actually the main fact is to be honest, is I'm holding all of that. So if anything does happen, he tries to do a takeover in the last seconds. What I can do is just literally turn those things up, go behind him, get the DRS, and try and do a takeover then. So that's why I was kind of like trying to maintain that. As you can see, it's already charging up the ERS from all the braking at this point. And to be honest, we're getting a good gap on him right at this point, because we're not taking in that the dirty air. We're actually getting that clean air coming through. We're able to finally push again. We kind of took a bit of the grass with us at that point, so it slowed us down a little bit. As you can see, I'm kind of nervous at this point. I go a little bit defensive here, and just because I could see that he was coming a bit closer to me. But again, literally, this was really interesting. I was getting a bit nervous at this point. I was waiting for this takeover, and luckily we did the takeover here. We didn't have a lot of road to do this takeover here. So it was quite interesting how we got it done there. I was quite surprised myself that I actually got it done there. But again, look at this. We're just coming in for here, getting the last couple of turns through. And again, he's probably annoyed, and I take a bit of damage there. But I was like, I think, oh, okay, so we did rewind it because I was getting a bit annoyed. I was like, no, I can't be asked to have any more damage. But again, like I said, if you guys really want me to take flashbacks off, I will do, because I think this race I did abuse it a little bit too much. But again, literally, it was just constantly just focusing on the whole race now. Again, I would turn it up a couple of times if I thought the ERS, just because I was thinking, okay, it's getting a bit too close, let me just use the ERS a little bit more. But most of the time, and use some of the what you call it, fuel as well. But most of the time, it's just letting it kind of gain itself up to just use it again. But again, literally, it was just mainly focusing on the whole race. It was just, I think it mainly of this whole race, it was just, we both, I was battling through him, and I was, I knew it was going to have to be more of a a strategy kind of win more than anything, and it was pretty much that. It was just focusing on the ERS, focusing on my fuel, and just trying to get as close as we can to use that DRS with it, to get that kind of like slingshot, and then on top of that, getting the slipstream. It was quite surprising that I got the takeover here, just because we didn't have any DRS, but it's mainly because of the fact that we got the slingshot off of him, and then getting that DRS, the slipstream. Again, this was a mistake. I made the massive mistake here, so I kind of rewinded it here. I went to scratch my eye again, and literally I went, vroom, see you later. As you can see, I tried to, I did it at the wrong time, but yeah. So the main thing that I'm trying to say is basically, yeah, we didn't have any DRS, so the takeover was quite difficult. I had to really get under him, and then kind of move out the way as quick as I could, because he was going defensive. I was almost really close of getting a penalty, because I almost hit him, and I almost lost. I could have lost my wing if I did hit him. I mean, it was really close. He was playing a bit dirty as well, a bit aggressive as well from his side. So to be honest, it was pretty much a massive battle for both of us through the whole race. But to be able to get the results that we wanted is the main thing. So I was quite surprised with the whole thing, to be honest. So if you can't tell already, we do win the race. So yeah. So here we go. We're coming into the last couple of seconds of the race. Well, the seconds, last corners of the race. here we go. It's all over. We finally got the win. And here we go. We got our first win at Australia. And it was a tough one. I'm not going to lie. This is one of the toughest races we've probably had. Literally just battling. You know, the last couple of laps were just literally maintaining them behind us and defending. I did skip a little bit of it just because it. I wanted to get to the ending for you guys. You know, I kind of spoiled it a little bit there. So there we go, guys. We have won our first race at Australia. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you for the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.